Thank you for tuning in. My name is Monica Dawn Stone. I'm from theyogimovement.com, and you are watching an asana lab where we are going to talk about a specific posture. So today we're going to talk about Paschimottanasana and actually Dandasana as well, but it all kind of flows together as the first posture of the primary series. So it starts with Dandasana, and Dandasana is kind of like the seated posture that is equivalent to Samastitihi in the seated posture. So at the beginning of every standing posture, you always bring it back to Samastitihi, kind of as a clean slate. And in the seated postures, you always start and begin each posture with Dandasana. So I'm going to get started and show you how to do this posture. So when you come into, we come into seated position right after we finish with our Virabhadrasana A and B, and we can bring our legs straight, and we're going to flex the feet. So make sure that you're not lazy about this. I see a lot of times people just kind of let the feet go, or they come apart, and it's just sometimes easy to forget all of the elements in each posture, especially as a home practitioner. Sometimes you're really focused on just doing a specific part, or maybe something happens and you just don't like to do one aspect of it, so you just block it out. But I am here to remind you. So you're going to flex your feet and pull the toes back, pull up the kneecaps and make the legs really strong. So you want to basically bring your hands down. You're going to press your hands into the ground, so you're pushing out through your shoulders. You're bringing your chin to your chest, so this is called Jalandhara Bandha. And you're pulling in the bandhas, so you're engaging Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. And you want to make sure that your arms are straight and the elbows are straight. So if you find that, because a lot of times I also see people with bent elbows, if you find that this happens, just bring the hands back. But do whatever you can, experiment around, and you want to get to a point where you can straighten the arms and really push out through the shoulders and be really active in each part of the body. So get to a point where you can do that, wherever that is, all right? So you press down, you're going to bring your chin to your chest, and you're going to take 5 deep breaths here. And what I love about Dandasana is that it kind of, after the standing postures, it's really easy to get out of breath, especially if you're new to practicing. And as time goes on, you'll learn how to do each posture and start to steady the breath, even when it starts to feel, tough for you. You'll start to figure out ways that you can deepen and steady the breath in those difficult times. But at the beginning, you're probably going to be out of breath. When you come to Dandasana, really take the time to reconnect. So focus in on your breath. Don't just take this posture, but really say, okay, is my breath deep still? Can I hear my breath? Am I thinking about anything? So reconnect, and even if you have to take more than 5 breaths to do it, to slow the breath down and to get it to a steady pace and a deeper pace, then go ahead and do that. So the next part is Paschimottanasana, and this has a lot of breath counts to it in vinyasas, and a lot of times, and I know I'm guilty of it too, we just end up not doing all of the breaths or all of the movements. So I wanted to go ahead and just refresh your memory on that. So after your 5th breath, you're going to inhale and you're going to reach for the big toes. So you're still flexing the feet and you're still engaging the bandhas, and you reach for the big toes, and then you exhale and fold forward. And so here, the fold is coming right from the torso. You're elongating the torso and right from the core muscles. So you really don't want to be pulling so hard that your shoulders are up by your ears. You're pulling a little bit back on your toes, and then as you pull back, you're pushing the toes forward. But this should be a soft movement. So in every posture, you're finding the balance of soft and strength, So the lower body is really strong, and the upper body here is a little softer. So you're kind of just grasping on here. And then you're coming forward using the torso and the abdomen and the lower body. And you'll come forward and you're going to look at your toes. And the point of this is you don't want to round your back. So you're not going to bring your head down. And if you find that you're doing that, just create the awareness and then work to straighten the spine the best way possible. And you're going to take 5 breaths here. So this is the next part, and this next part is where I see a lot of people forget the movements. and the breath movement. So then you're going to inhale here, lengthen. So you lengthen even more and pull forward even more. And then you're going to exhale as you fold forward. You're going to grab around. So grab the wrists, maybe even around the toes or the feet, wherever you can take. And then there's even another inhale to lengthen here. So inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. And then 5 breaths here. The feet are still flexed, and if they're not, look forward and flex them. Just kind of reset. 5 deep breaths here. So you're working to bring your chin to your shin, or taking the motion, bringing the crown of your head towards your toes. It's kind of what you're trying to do to keep a straight spine and to lengthen. And then to come out of it, you're going to inhale, look forward, exhale, release, and then you'll vinyasa. So the part that I see a lot of people, I don't want to use the word mess up, but a lot of people just don't do the movements, is we'll be here for 5 breaths, and then they just go like this, and there's really that inhale and lengthening, exhale, folding, and then that extra inhale, and exhale again. So, I hope that helps you. I wanted to go ahead and tell you one more thing. There's a book that's really helpful if you're a home practitioner. It's called Ashtanga Yoga, the Definitive Step-by-Step Guide to Dynamic Yoga. It's by John Scott. I think he's out of Australia. And I did want to mention in this book, he does a full vinyasa. So that means that after every single posture, he brings you back to Samastitihi. And you'll notice if you go to Mysore classes or you've been learning from a teacher at any point, that doesn't happen. Or if you've gone to Mysore, they do half vinyasas. So you always start seated, you do the jump back and the jump through and come to seated position. So there's no need to come to Samastitihi, but I did want to point that out if you do get this book, that you don't need to do that. But he does teach that way. That's how he was taught. But what I really like about this book is it's really straightforward. Like every single movement and posture with every single vinyasa is in here. There's not too much reading. I've seen some books where which is great, there's a lot of reading to go along with each posture. And if you just really want to learn the vinyasa count and each movement to go with it, pretty in a straightforward way, I think that this is the book to go with. So I hope that helped you. I hope that you have a better understanding of Paschimottanasana now and Dandasana, and that you by doing those extra movements and extra breaths, it really kind of helps you elongate and pull forward a little more. It gives you that extra breath. And one more thing I want to mention is that with every exhale, you can take the time to kind of come forward a little more. So opening up the chest and come forward, but there's no bouncing up and down. It's just kind of exhale, come a little more forward. But be careful on your hamstrings. And I did want to mention also, if you can't reach your big toes, you can only reach your shins, that's fine. If you have your lower back or your hamstrings are tight, then you just kind of you come forward after Dandasana, 5 breaths here, wherever you can reach. And then you're going to exhale, and you're just going to reach a little more. Like maybe you just wiggle your fingers forward. Maybe you just do the same thing. But the only difference is that you are just up a little further. You're not completely folded forward, but you're getting the same benefit from the posture and the practice. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. It really makes me so happy and makes my heart happy that we have this community of at-home practitioners that we can work together with. So I hope to see you at the next Asana Lab in the next video. And go to my website, theyogimovement.com, and follow me on social media if you liked this. Let's connect everywhere. All right, namaste.